Welcome everybody, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Everything here is connected with ancient philosophy, all the religions and physics, all describing the flat earth system, its shape, its function, and how it's connected with the human brain. How the earth and man is from the earth, we are one. Because basically the earth's shape is like a human brain, acts like a human brain. Before I get into this, which came to me last night, and since then it's just blown up. So what came to my mind just before was Alpha and Omega. There's no beginning and there's no end. So once you find something, it just keeps going. So I don't know where to stop and where to start, or where to start, where to stop. Anyway, before I get into this, I'll just tell you about this this video. Get my phone. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to actually talk about, get to what point. It's just like synchronism, eh? So it just happens. So up pops this video. The CIA proves the manifestation is real. This CIA's classified experiment proves manifestation. Proves manifestation is real. So check out that video. Okay, so that's part of the video I'm about to talk about. And specifically, this is in this video, the CIA, Hemispheric Synchronism. These are the two hemispheres of the brain. I've spent many hours showing my subscribers the connection between the two hemispheres of Earth and the flat Earth system. You see, it's like a brain. And you say that's one side of the brain and that's the other side, but it breaks down again like a magnet, because it's all about magnetic fields. You break it down again, so you have two hemispheres here, and you have the cerebral gap between the two hemispheres, left and right hemisphere, right? Otherwise you can take this as a whole. This is the northern hemisphere of our flat earth all the way to the equator, and then you've got the southern hemisphere coming down like this. So there's an alignment between the two hemispheres. It's a divine alignment. This tropical gap is the most divine place of all religions. It's the river, it's the mountain, it's Troy, many things, but everything involves a connection between the two hemispheres at a certain time, and all religions referring to the sun, the light, which in Christianity it's the Christ, because there's the Son of Man and there's the Son of Earth. And when the Son of Earth is working, it's working for you, the Son of Man. So there comes an hour, there comes a time when you receive your enlightenment. So I'm going to be talking about this. But this hour is when the two Milky Ways, because it's a dual system, you're not taught this. You just see one image in your arc of horizon. Man has an arc of horizon, where his horizon goes down, falls down, everything falls down on his horizons. The earth doesn't fall down, it stays fixed and stationary, like the Bible tells you. If you want to be an ignorant person, think you live on a ball, you don't call yourself a Christian, okay? Just forget about it. Now, it's about this alignment of the Milky Way, because the sun sits in the Milky Way. And early in the evening, in the season, you have to go back and see my earlier videos, the right season, when Sirius arrives actually. The Milky Way starts on the east, on the horizon, in the dirt, down here, and goes up and over, and then down to the dirt again. Well anyway, this alignment in the Earth system is spelled out with the CIA. It happens with man, it's the same thing. Look, the two hemispheres hemisync an audio stimuli. They were using 7 Hertz to send this frequency through your ears. Woe to he who, something to he who hears, or something or other. Something like that. Anyway, there's the stimuli. There's three processes, or three things that need to happen. There is the hyperfocus of the right hemisphere. Okay, let's get down this one. Complete relaxation. You start with complete relaxation. This all goes back to meditation as well. Complete relaxation. And the third one says hemisphere sync audio stimuli. But this first one up here is the hyperfocal of the right hemisphere. This is what I've been telling my subscribers earlier on. You have to have your mind open and be in awe of something sun-related, preferably, or about creation. And this stimulation may occur with you, your enlightenment. But it's in relationship to your moon sign and all that. But you'll find a lot more of that information in my earlier videos. So there's proof that there's the similarity between the human hemispheres and the Earth's hemisphere. The Milky Way in the south, that we see in the south, you guys in the north see one as well. You don't know there's two. You only see the one. That's what we're told. It's in the middle here. Everything happens in the middle. Well, not the Milky Way, but the ecliptic plane and all that. But what's in here, we all see in our own arc of horizon. No matter where you are on the Earth, a little speck, little dot down here, you have your arc of horizon. Everything swings over and down on your arc of horizon. So I'm about to explain that. I'll just talk a little bit about that in here. So we come across to chapter 13 of John, right? I'm going to read it all out, not all of it, but most of it. Now before the feast of the Passover is this event when it's passing over your zenith. Your Passover comes when that Milky Way passes over your moon, full moon, that's in your conception sign. That's your Passover. But you have to have these three things going on. Okay? You go to bed, that's what praying's all about, you see, before you go to bed. Open your mind for when you're sleeping, your brain's ticking over. If you go to bed with something, in awe of something that's to do with creation, you're completely relaxed, usually at 3 o'clock in the morning. This sound business, that's to do with the frequency, because everything is sound. Our whole realm is all frequency based, and this is connected to the moon and the sun, no doubt, but it's what's going on. So anyway, that's your Passover. Jesus knew that his hour has come. That's an hour. So you've got an hour when this alignment occurs. Then it just rolls on down out of sync. It has to be this alignment, because it's moving, right? The northern hemisphere, it all turns. It's star trail photography. Did you see it all turning? If you aim at the celestial equator, you'll see the two rotations. Well, there's both rotations, but it's the alignment directly overhead. Is the man's hour. So they're always talking about Christ as the sun. Okay, bear that in mind. Out of this world unto the... we'll start again. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world, man coming out of his physical world into the spiritual world, enlightenment, unto the Father, having loved his Father, after having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. The supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. There's no betraying. When you understand that, that's a big story in itself right there. There's no betrayal, okay? Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he come from God and went to God. So you're talking about the motion of this Milky Way, okay? He riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel and girded himself. Just had that in my head. After that he poureth water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with his towel wherewith he was girded. Okay. Yes, okay. The riseth from supper. So he's coming up over on your arc of horizon. He's up here. This is the alignment up here, okay? Your zenith. Now he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments. Now the garments, you're going to have to trust me on this one. Laying beside his garments, you could say, well, it could be the Milky Way, but anyway, imagine this line between, there's the two tropics here, okay? Just think about that. Laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. Okay, there's the girding, girdles, girding himself. Between here, okay? And towel, you have to break the sound back, down, towel. A two-sided well. There's two sides, well, and this area here is classed as the water, the Nile, the river, the well. All through religious stories, this tropical gap is the most divine place. It's telling the whole story because it's this alignment that connects everything. So he takes a towel, okay? After that, he poureth water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. The girded, towel and water. And what does he do? Where do you baptize? On the banks of the rivers, or in the river? This is your baptizing. It's your Passover. That's the water that's connected. Because this round here is the gap here. And what have we got in the middle of our earth, in the tropical region? All the moisture, water. But there's water flowing under here, subterranean water fields coming below this tropical region, all around here. It all comes from the centre Arctic. It flows in the swastika. It's another, check out my other videos. Comes out in 4 different directions. It flows to this tropical region. Aqueducts. Now then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash thy feet? Why do you wash thy feet? Well, there you go. See, look, you've got the sun's analemma. You've got one in each hemisphere, okay? And the sun's analemma, so you can see it's like this. I mean, there's a shape of man just about. This is the top, this is the northern hemisphere. Centre north. There's the south. There's this big southern field around here. And we have one of these in each hemisphere. And they're both facing this way. The feet are towards the water, the banks of the Nile, the banks of the river. Your feet. This way is washing your feet. Okay? The bottom, bite thy heel, wound thy head. Because in our flat earth system, the energy spirals out of the centre north, but it also spirals out of the opposite, the other end of the meridian. Spirals out of here. It's a mirror image. This is why they mention the mirror a lot in all this esoteric ancient texts and scripture and stuff. Because in the south, our sun comes from the southeast. In the north, it comes from your northeast. It's a mirror effect. This is why we get this thing going on. Because this driving is what drives the sun around in here. What's perceived to be the sun, but it's just the image. There's 3 stages, there's 3 lines of thought when it comes to the design here. This is the tricky thing for people to get their head around. Okay, so I'll read on. Jesus answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest now not, but thou shalt know thereafter. Telling him, once you go through your enlightenment, your spiritual enlightenment, you will understand everything. Until then you know nothing. This is why witnesses have to come forth and explain it all. Peter saith unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered to him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. And this is all about Jesus' being sacrificed and dying on the cross. Because you have to be cleansed, you have to be cleaned out. Brainwashed. This is where the Freemasons get this brainwashed from. You've got to be completely washed out to be born again. That's the old wine and the old cask, the old skin. You can't. You've got to replace it before you put the new wine in. It's all about that. It's the one divine event. If I wash thee not, Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and blah, blah, blah. But Jesus goes on to tell him, well, I washed this, that's good enough, you're going to be all purified. Blah, blah, blah. Then you come down to here, 18. I speak not of you all, I know who I have chosen. So it doesn't happen to everybody because you're not consciously awake. It comes down to this complete, between the hemisphere, the hyperfocal, not described there really. I speak not of all, I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled. He that eateth bread with me hath lifted up his heel against me. Lifted up his heel against me. That's the heel again. There's the head, there's the heel. Lifted up against me. That's the alignment. That's the alignment across the tropics, across the Red Sea, where they got across the sea parted sort of thing. But the sea is basically this way. And they crossed. Okay? Now I tell you before it come, that when it is come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. You will know. You are a witness. It's a real thing, guys. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that receiveth whoever I send receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. When Jesus had thus said, he was troubled in spirit, and testified, and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. That's another big long story. I won't go on with that one, because just about every paragraph has a flippant story this long. That's why there's no beginning and no... Let me read 8:6. I think this is what where the video actually started. It was going to come from here, but it just morphed into all this other stuff. I could go on forever. This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. That was it. Okay, so it's John 8:6. Okay, this is the original. This is the start of the whole flipping video last night, and it just got out of hand. You see, they bring Jesus this woman. So this woman is actually represented as the moon, because this Milky Way alignment across here has to catch the moon, your full moon sign and your sign, your moon sign. So that, and but Jesus stooped down. Remember, he's already stooped down here. Okay, Jesus stooped down, meaning he's already stooped down. I need to go and find the whole. Hang on, give me 1 minute. Too organised here, God. Well, let's go find John 8. John 8. John 8. What was it? 8:6. 8:6. Here we go. I'll start from the top. I'll just see how much is left on the video. Hang on. I might have blown this. We're up to 21 minutes. I've got 9 minutes to get this out, okay? Before it's just Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple. So he's gone into his mind. He's asleep in the middle of the night, early morning, 3 o'clock. And all the people came into him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Meaning it's the moon. Because the moon gives spirituality to all, enlightenment to all males on earth. Well, you're supposed to, if you can wake up consciously. So she's just a one-off moon, right? So she's considered as the hussy, the slut, the whore, whatever you want to call her. All these silly stories in religion. And, you know, two-timing Zeus in one of the Greek stories. So he said you can't give birth any day of the year. So it's only a divine time of the year, and only 5 can be created each year, I think, the way it goes, where this all happens in the alignment. So they're basically saying they've brought the woman, they've got her in the right position, caught in the act, in the Milky Way with the sun, and the sun's Jesus, remember, so they can accuse him of getting it on with her. Now Moses and the law commanded us that such should be stoned. And this goes back to your pineal gland, because that's enlightenment, that's the Son of Man. Okay, so that's what gets awoken, like the lotus flower coming out of the water, because your pineal glands come out of the water, because the water's been washed away in your flood. This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him, because he's caught there with that woman. But Jesus stooped down, which means he's already stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So this takes you back to the turtle and the rabbit and the tortoise tail. The rabbit knew it was going to win the race, right? So he decided to go and have a nap. Anyway, the tortoise won the race because he stuffed around. So there's the moral of the story. Don't stuff around, but get on with it. But they've screwed that story. But that's where it originally comes from. They know. The people at the top here run our world. They know. That's where these stories come from. So what they're saying is, because Christ is quicker. He's the sun. He moves the quickest. He comes along and sweeps over the moon. Okay, so he's down here. The moon's probably already up here somewhere. So he's catching up. Not in one night. It takes a bit more time than that. It takes a whole month, half a month for him to get to the full moon. But over the whole month, he laps the moon's cycles. So he stooped down, he gets up here, and then it mentions about him stooping down again because he's come down this side. But then it goes back and talks about this moment up here in the alignment. So Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground. So he's his finger. So the whole Milky Way is down there in the east, coming out like that towards Sirius. All this is all curled up still, because you're curled up in here, or you're curled up back there, but he's coming out following Sirius around here, and then he comes over and there's an alignment there, and then he goes back down again. So when they continued asking him, he lifted him. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without a sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down. He's gone down the other side now. And wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience. So there's your conscience. You've got to have this, be in the right frame of mind. Went out one by one. Okay? So you're losing them all, because not many people are consciously in the right place. You're losing them. Beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. So Jesus up there in this moon, in this alignment. Okay? When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? This is hard to explain, but it's about he's found no one awake to be enlightened. There's a little bit more to this, but I'll be putting that in a book, okay? So he's found no one to liven up. He said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. So basically he's talking about the enlightened one, if there is one. If there's one that you don't sin anymore. When you go to this enlightenment, you do not sin anymore, okay? Then spoke, and then you talk to Christians about this, go, no, we're all sinners, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're born into sin in the dual world, but when you go through this singularity, come back home, back with God, no, then you are not a sinner. Then spoke Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, Thou bearest record of thyself, thy record is not true. Jesus answered and said unto them, Though I bear record of myself, my record is true. For I know whence I came and whither I go, but ye cannot tell whence I come and whither I go. So only the enlightened ones will know this, because common man doesn't know any of this, didn't know any of it. He doesn't know. Ye judge after the flesh. I judge after no man. See, God keeps telling you, his information comes from there. It's not him, it comes from up here. You down there, people down there, get it from man, common man. It's all wrong, it's inverted. They tell stories. Like, half this book is just told opposite to what its sexual meaning is. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true, for I am not alone, but I am the Father that sent me. It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. Basically saying, he doesn't need to prove anything to you people, because he knows he's backed by God, the Father. You are just backed by some other common man. Two common men, you can talk amongst yourself and say this guy's wrong, he's not right, blah, 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 but this guy knows he's right, because he's getting it from there. He's not getting it from some other drongo down here. So you have to know who to believe and who not to believe, okay? Certain things make sense if you start using this. So that's basically the video. It's about to run out. That went on a bit.